Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. Our first order of business is we have a bid opening.
Here, is this yours? Right here.
Why, what?
No.
Okay. Bidder agrees to perform and complete the work as specified for a lump sum of $640.
What is this?
This is Jeff Sanitation.
No, but we gotta know, there's all these different bid numbers here.
They're on the outside of the envelope, the bid number.
Okay. This one is the Hamlet of Callicoon. Okay. Ed, how much was it?
$640.
Okay.
It's a lump sum. And all the rest of this stuff is just certification.
Yep.
You got some paper clips?
Yeah, I do.
I got one here.
And that one is for what?
This is also Jeff Sanitation for contract number 2.
Which one? Park?
Well, it doesn't,
It
it
says
says
on the
where?
envelope.
The
On the
envelope.
envelope.
Calico
Oh,
Creek Park.
Creek Park, yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's $960.
Okay.
Okay, also, Jeff Sanitation, this is for the municipal building, contract 3, $2,040.
Okay.
Contract number 4, sewer plant, $1,200. This is Sullivan County First, contract 1, $798. Contract 2, 1,000, this is Calico Creek Park, $1,440.
Okay.
Municipal building, contract 3, $1,240.32.
1,240.32.
1240.32.
Right. One,
Right?
yeah, 1,240.32.
32 cents.
And
Posted.
number 4, which is a sewer plant, is $870.36. You asked for a lump sum, apparently.
Thank you.
And this is, I'll have to open. And this is from Thompson Sanitation. This is a copy of the bid specs, okay. Contract 1, Hamlet of Callicoon, $800. Contract 2, Calhoun Creek Park, $800. Municipal Building, Contract 3, $1,750. I kinda don't understand that very much. Contract 4, Sewer Plant, $1,000.
Okay, thank you.
What'd you do? We'll award this later?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, first, we didn't have a published guest of the board, but I noticed that Dr. Hackett is here from Sullivan West School District. Welcome,
Thank you.
and congratulations again on those high marks that the school got.
Yes, that's a good.
And I know you have a comment to make.
I just wanted to just remind everyone that next Tuesday is our annual school budget vote. And please exercise your right to vote, because that will be, and in this area, we are back at the youth center. So we are not necessarily, we don't have to avoid it because of roads and what have you.
And bridges, yeah.
And bridges, et
Right.
cetera, right,
And what-
construction,
And what's the date?
the 21st. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting?
So moved.
John, second by Cindy. Tess, you're up.
Okay, April receipts total $3,107.75, with $3,095.75 turned over to the supervisor. Of that, $27.82 is building fees. Issued a fireworks permit to the Villaroma for June 8th, and all their paperwork's in order, and I notified the fire police. Town cleanup, Ed and I reviewed the quotes, and Sullivan County First was the lowest conforming quote. They'll be conducting the cleanup, which is this weekend from 9 to 4. And Bill, you got 2 guys and you're all set, okay. The burn ban is lifted tomorrow, I think, although somebody was burned in Culvertown today. So you can burn again, just please be cautious. Correspondence, I received about 23 or 24 emails and or letters asking the board to remove the special permitting for compressor stations from the proposed zoning law amendments. Copies were forwarded to the town board and also the planning board at Jerry's request. We received training certificates for our 2 new board assessment review members, and they're good to go for Grievance Day on May 30th. I received a letter from Aaron Lewis from St. James Episcopal Church, and St. James Episcopal Church is interested in using the Calhoun Creek Park on June 15th for a spring fling. It will be an afternoon event with live music, free admission to the public. They will offer all sorts of activities, including arts and crafts, dancing, games, maybe craft vendors, and food for families that day. They're planning 12 to 4. They've contacted their insurance company for a rider to their policy, just need to verify the date with you guys if it's okay.
What's the date?
June 15th, it's a Saturday, I think, and there's nothing going on with park people, so as long as you do the certificate of insurance.
What weekend is the tractor parade?
I don't know, I'm not involved in it.
Yeah. You don't have a clue, right?
Okay, so what do you think?
Well, is that the last thing on your?
Now I have one more thing.
All right, why don't you do that and we'll talk about the.
And the other thing is also requested, the youth center requests permission to close River Road for their 5K race on Sunday, July 21st. The road will be closed from approximately 8 to 10, and they said they'll send letters to the residents like they usually do, so. That's my report
Okay, we've done that, the River Road thing
for years
for
and
years
years.
now. So I don't object to that.
Just a question, is the fire company know about it? In case there's some kind of emergency or something?
They always have
If there's an
ambulance.
emergency,
They
they.
have
yeah,
priority over that, okay.
Yeah, and they only block it, like Tower
Tower
Road
Road up
is
to the back.
open.
Okay,
Is open for the lower end.
Is open, yeah, they can get up and down Tower
Okay.
Road, so. It's a very short time, they're very quick, it's like 17 minutes and they're back and forth. Yeah. So, and it's been going on for 10 years.
What's your pleasure with the, what's it, St. James?
St. James Episcopal.
St. James Episcopal Church wants to use a park?
I'll make a motion for that.
Okay.
good, no
And
problem.
you'll notify them, Tess?
Yep, I'll make sure to get the
All those in
insurance.
favor?
Aye.
Get a motion on the 5K.
I need a motion on the 5K race.
So moved.
John, Cindy, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, Billy, you're up, man.
Okay, we paved Villaroma Road and we paved Beechwoods Road from County Road 164 to Robish Hill Road, which was in dire need of being paved. And I'd like to just take and thank all the towns that helped us get the job done, because without them, we'd still be paving. Maybe. But if there's any questions, anybody wants to know, just feel free to ask.
What did it cost to rent that huge
Paver?
machine?
I think
What
that's
was that
around 1,500 a day. But that's all computerized and everything.
What did that-
Yeah.
And you ground up,
We ground up
you
in front
ground
of the
up the
Villaroma.
pavement and then,
We took it down 3 inches and put 3.5 in, and then when you roll it, it goes back to 3. I think it turned out really well,
the Villaroma Road.
considering the buses and the trucks and the delivery trucks, and it was even this hill up here, the cars, the trucks, I mean, it's a chore. It's very nerve-wracking, but for the inconvenience and how you can go right along, make up the difference.
That's quite an improvement up by Herbie Barnes.
Oh,
Yeah.
it needed it.
Oh, yeah.
But there's spots on that road, I'm gonna tell you the truth, where it's 1.5 inches thick, and there's spots where it's that thick.
Yeah.
Really, that road was in dire shape.
When are you gonna do the striping?
Well, after we seal them and everything, which probably won't be until August, September.
We have enough left over to do the parking lot over there?
Nope. Didn't take me long to answer that one, did it?
Incidentally, my commendations to your crew there. I stopped up there and there was a couple trucks, a truck apart, and the guys are doing all the work in-house, so.
Yeah.
If that had to go to a garage someplace, we'd be talking mega bucks. So, thank you to your crew.
And the reason, John, I say no is because, like I said in the beginning, that's fireman property, fire that belong. So, in order for me, this is how this has gotta work in my mind. If I rent the pug mill, rent the paver, rent the roller, buy the stone, supply the men, supply the trucks, that's misappropriation of highway funds. Now, if they wanna pay the bill for all that stuff, we can put it down. And I think that's how I'm right, Ken, if I'm, you can't do it. It's misappropriation of highway funds, and you go to jail for
You'd
it.
have to have a cooperation agreement with them, and
Right.
you could make an agreement and work out, you know.
Right, it's not that I don't wanna do it,
a
but
quick
legally I
call,
can't.
but you just can't
Right,
voluntarily.
you can't do
slide
that.
it down on it.
That's how you end up with looking out the bars, and I ain't got time for that. Any questions other than that, I'll be happy to answer. Okay, and Mr. Roder, thank you for putting up with all the noise and the dust and the ruckus up there.
After 7 AM, I guess I can't complain. I'm glad that my neighbor has use of that,
Yes,
is able to use
very
his
helpful
land.
for the town, very
That's a
helpful.
good thing. That's a good thing. So people can put up with a little inconvenience
Yes.
when it's helping the whole
And
town.
again, I would like to thank the town of Thompson, Lumberland, Coshecton, everybody that helped us. Without them, boy, we really.
I have to say the drivers are quite, they're good. I mean, they're
They're good. They
letting.
know their business.
They know there's a driveway there, and they're careful when they come up and down and so forth. So,
And you help them.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Put it this way, if every governmental agency worked together as well as the highway superintendents of Sullivan County, you wouldn't have the mess you got. You can put that right on TV too.
how true.
It's a shame you can't get that cooperation between the county and the state.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
about
next
the
item is the
IRS
building
and the
inspector.
Yeah.
And Howard Fuchs had some surgery last Thursday on his shoulder, and he's recuperating. He's not here tonight. In his absence, Greg Seminetz
It's covering.
is covering, and he's been over a couple of times. I don't know that there's any problems, but there won't be a report tonight from Howard. Renee, is she here?
Hi.
How you doing?
Okay. Not too much to report. The tentative roll was filed. The uniform percent of value is 67%, which is up 2% from last year. Grievance day will be Thursday, May 30th, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and that's a change from Tuesday. So it is Thursday, May 30th. And we're continuing with the townwide data collection. We're almost finished with the first group. We have 13 groups, so there's still a
lot of
ways to
work
go.
to do yet.
Yeah. And that's about it.
And I just forgot to thank the town of Tustin also, while I was thanking everybody, so they're
You
doing.
just have 4 of them, Bill?
Huh?
You just had 4 that helped you,
Thompson, Lumberland, Coshecton, and Tustin.
Okay.
I'm looking for Kara. She's not in, huh? She didn't tell me whether she's gonna be our grants coordinator, so there'll be no report. Calico Creek Park Committee, Mike is not here.
I guess I could fill in for Michael. We have a work day tomorrow with the Job Corps students. That's to fix the stage and repair the fence. And we have a plant swap. It's not this Saturday, but the following. I don't have the date in my head. I think it's from like 10 to 2, 21st, 25th. And we wanted to ask the town if they could contribute to the supplies for the repair of the fence. All the work is being donated by the committee and Job Corps, and I think it's running like $260. It's a Renaissance project, so we're getting a little break from Agway for the supplies.
Is that for supplies?
Right, just for the
Yeah.
supplies.
Mike Chinicki called me and
Okay,
spoke
so,
with me yesterday, I think, or the day before. And he said, he mentioned the $260 for the fence, and he also mentioned the insurance. And he-
Right.
And he was asking if we would split each of those items with, is that?
Right.
Just, okay, so, the insurance was $420, and the fence is $260. So, that's what they're asking for. We talked a little bit about this last
Right,
week.
Yeah.
I can see the fence, the insurance, well, I mean, other organizations use it, and
Well, it's.
I don't wanna
wait a
set
minute, but it's only
precedent.
for them. They're not paying for anybody else's insurance.
yeah, but if somebody else uses the park, are we gonna contribute half of the insurance to that too?
Well,
That's my contention. We do it for one, we gotta do it for everybody.
Yeah, but this is
Is-
for the
this-
park.
this is for the
isn't
park.
I mean,
not
you know,
for an
This is
it's
for the
repairing the park.
Yeah, this is just for the park.
You know.
I'll make a motion that we split the costs.
Second by Cindy. In favor?
Oh,
Aye.
aye.
Al?
Opposed?
Opposed?
Okay. I'm sorry, anything else did I cut you off?
No, that's good, thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right, oh, Harold, you're up.
Okay, we didn't have too much going on. I don't have that beautiful water chart. I printed out 6 of them in living color and proceeded to leave them at home. But the,
How's the median?
how's the median is up about here. And the other thing is there's a little wiggle mark right underneath it. So that was on the 10th, because they only print them out on Friday. So last Friday was there, but that represented the dams in our area here are at 98%. The total of them is 98%. So there's a lot of water in there, a lot of water. And that's, oh, one thing I did want to say is that I had spoke, I think, last month about that situation in Pennsylvania. Was that last month? Time goes on. And the state of, not the state, the DEP in Pennsylvania kicked it back for another month. So they're not gonna make any determination or end the public written comment until June 2nd. So the UDC's got its ducks all in order, and the letter, if it hasn't already gone out, it's been approved. So there it goes. And we'll find out what they end up doing. It's gonna be a very interesting situation of what's gonna happen in the future. That's it, that's all I have. Those, no fist fights or anything, everything was good.
You behaved, didn't you?
I behaved, yeah. Oh, dear.
Next on it is the supervisor's report. I have some things that I wanted to mention. I don't know if anybody's aware, we had a sewer breakdown a week and a half ago. And we couldn't, the breakers kept popping and we couldn't get them to stay, and so the pump wasn't working. And consequently, I don't know, people that are familiar with that area, if you'll notice, there's a manhole that's about 25, 30 feet away from, well, maybe further, maybe 35, 40 feet away from in the middle of the street from the pump station. And some water came up. We're estimating that the amount was about 500 gallons of water. We got it pretty quick. Bernie was right there on the spot, you know, and we got Lang in there to pump it out. And as soon as Lang was 2 minutes with the suction hose in there, the water stopped running. But in order to get the pump to run, we had to get a generator. I don't know if anybody noticed the generator that was next to the pump house down there all week. And that generator ran until, I'm gonna say Saturday, Friday night, I guess, Friday night. So it was all done on Friday night. And then after that, we had some problems with the pump. Again, probably it was an electrical problem, and it was probably due to the electrical problem. But everything's fixed and in order right now. And the good news is, I think it's covered by insurance. So,
Could be quite a costly.
it's gonna cost around $30,000 or $31,000, near as I can tell. And I'm hoping that I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, in my conversation with the adjuster. So, the next item on my agenda is, I would propose, and I'm gonna ask for somebody to make the resolutions, to change the meeting dates of our town board meetings from the third Wednesday each month to the second Wednesday each month. And I know that you aired that at your meeting.
Yes, I heard, I got the okay from all but one. And that one hasn't responded back to me, so everybody's on board.
I'll make that motion.
It's just, we're flopping. In other words, you know, instead of the planning board meeting on the second Wednesday, we will, and they'll be meeting on the third.
I'd like to make the motion that we switch to the second Wednesday.
Can I get a second?
I got no problem, I'll second it.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter to me either way, so.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
When will that go into effect?
In speaking with Kenny about it, we're gonna have to advertise it?
Yeah, we'll do a notice like she does at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, we're gonna do, and we'll do that, I guess, we'll take care of all of that.
Okay.
Get published and
So the
posted.
June meeting will be on the 12th.
Right. All right, Ginny, you were on my agenda, but you took my thunder. The next thing, we received an engagement letter from Cooper and Arias, now formerly known as Cooper Neiman. And I know everybody got a copy of that letter. And basically, let's see if I can get this right. They're asking us to engage them for a fee this year of $12,600. Next year, 2014, $13,000. 2015, $13,400, and 2015, $13,800. And they, actually, excuse me, they stretched it out to 2016.
That last figure was for
14. That was, last figure was for 2015, and then and for 2016, it'll be 14,300.
I got an extra
So they're
one
upping
here
it
somewhere.
$400 every year
Yeah.
except for the last year, which is 500.
Yeah. Huh? What did you say?
I'll check them later, I got extra number here.
I believe, I think this year that it's 12,000. I mean, what's what we paid last year, I believe. I'm not- So, you know, having been here, gone through 2 of these audits, I can attest to their, how thorough they are. And they're always there when we call them with a question, and, which is often, we call them a lot. I think we call them once a week with, questions on how to record and how to make entries and make sure that we're doing it right.
What's the rates been in the past?
I just said it was 12,000 last year.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
I would recommend that we stay with Cooper and Arias, and I just want to tell you a little story. I remember when this was put to bid, a long time ago, and when we had trouble. And the auditors came, the low bidder came in and did an
Yeah.
audit, and found, gave us a clean audit, nothing was wrong. And 2 months later, the state came in and wrecked the job. So, there's well, you pay sometimes, you get what you pay for sometimes, so. They, Cooper and Arias, I'm sure will do a good job. The Arias, that's Andrew, that's the fella that was always in charge of our audit, was Andrew Arias.
You want a motion?
Yeah, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
This goes to 2017.
I guess it's 5 years,
Yeah.
counting this year. I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
And that's all I have for my report. The next item is, anybody on council have something to bring up? Under old business, we have, you folks remember the MMTF law, the multi-municipal task force?
You're good.
You may recall that we approved this law. And the only thing is, we approved it in error. We never approved the secret finding statement, which is a requirement. So, we have to approve that secret finding statement and then reaffirm the law. So, I would entertain a motion from somebody to do that. One motion?
No, 2.
2 motions.
I'll make the motion.
Harold moves it. In a second?
Second.
Second by John. That's to approve the secret finding statement.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, can I get a motion to reaffirm the law? Cindy?
Second.
Cindy moves it, John seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye. Why not? I'll have a little fun.
And now, the next item is something that's near and dear to everybody's heart, and that's local law number 4 regarding the zoning law amendments. We accepted last month, and we were, what came from the planning board, and after consideration, we've decided to drop the compressor station component. uh, From the proposed changes. So we have to accept, do I have to reject the old one?
No, what you're doing is, if you've got a resolution which amends the introductory local law, and the amendment is effectively
Okay,
the
so-
removal from the form of the local law of the compressor station related matters, otherwise it's the same.
And then, of course, when we're done with that, we have to set a public hearing. So can I get somebody to move the law with that change? Cindy,
Make the motion.
well, Cindy made it already.
Oh.
You'll second it?
Yeah.
Okay. Second by Al. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Now, going forward, we need to do some things. We're gonna have to get a secret
For the,
statement. And,
You're also gonna have to refer it to the county for 239 review, but we need to get the draft environmental impact statement to
Right.
be part of that package that we send to them.
all right, so, but we can set the public hearing and have that.
Yeah, I would hope that we'll have the environmental assessment form before the public hearing too. I mean, I assume you're gonna do this sometime between now and your
Yeah, now,
next town board
he
meeting.
told me that he haven't done, but,
Yeah, okay.
so, I think, I probably should jog him up, though,
Yeah,
just to be sure.
absolutely.
And the date that we're looking at for the public hearing is the 29th. It's the last Wednesday in May. That's 2 weeks from tonight. Unless you think that we should have it 5 minutes before the next meeting. I'm only kidding.
I know you tried that already.
No, I haven't tried that.
You think,
Is that a problem for anybody?
you think the paperwork will be back from Secor and all that by then, or
Well, it's,
is that something?
he
you gotta have
he
here?
knows, and he's gonna be, I've asked him to be there.
It's just a matter of filling out the form, is all.
Yeah, it's a much less complicated
Yeah,
document now with the amendment of the introductory law.
right, so.
So, and he said he'd have the paperwork, but I also want him here, and you're gonna be
Right,
here too.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
be here.
Okay, and any members of your board.
Planning board will be here.
what was the
So,
date?
well, we'd like to have it on the 29th, that's 2 weeks from today. It's the last Wednesday in May, is that,
At
I have
seven,
no problem with it. I mean,
at
that's-
7?
and that, and it works, we actually already talked about that.
What time?
Check it with Tom.
Say again?
Tom's okay with it?
Yep,
And what time?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
And you'll publish that test, you get that?
And all the documents are on file here in town,
Yes.
so if anybody wants to look at them
Yeah.
prior to.
Yeah, if anybody does want to look at any of those documents, why,
I have them,
we have them in town.
everything.
My next item, unless somebody has something else on the board here, is the bid award opening. Now, we doing these individually, or?
Yes, that's why we did it that way,
Each one is separate.
and we're really spreading it around.
Okay, the first one, which was the Hamlet Calicoon, is Jeff Sanitation won the bid with $640. Calicoon Creek Park is Thompson Sanitation at $800. Municipal buildings, I guess that's town barn and here.
Right.
Is Thompson Sanitation, no, Sullivan County at $1240.32.
Okay, make sure you get that 32 cents.
Yeah.
No.
And then,
Sewer?
the sewer plant is also Sullivan First at $870.36.
got a little something.
So, and then this is, I guess, anybody wants to see this way?
And I'll write letters to
But you need a motion to award to the
Oh,
lowest bidder.
Okay, can
On
I
each
interrupt
one?
just for a second? I hate to be a nudge, and I'm not gonna contest it this time, but you really have to watch your wording because you contradict yourself, because in the bid specs, you say that you're looking for a contract lump sum, and then you tell us how to do the math. How many months to divide it by.
It's crystal clear, because it
No,
it
and
tells you
then
to bid it
your-
as a lump sum and bill it in increments on a
I
month.
know, but can I finish?
It's not complicated at all. You're
It's
wrong.
not complicated, but your wording is wrong, because in your bid forms, it asks for a lump sum monthly price. That's your words, so,
Everybody seemed to get it right, no?
well, I bid it, I put the monthly price, I put the total underneath it. But I put the monthly price there, we're the only ones that did that.
It's clear, everybody understood what to do.
Well, then you shouldn't word it that way,
Okay, we'll look at it for next year.
you know, and I'm not here to contest it, but you have to watch your wording, because you asked for, on your bid form, you asked for a monthly price.
Great, thank you.
Okay. We will watch that.
You're right.
Now I need a resolution to accept the abstract.
Or wait, the lowest bidder, did you get that?
Oh, somebody, okay, I'm sorry. Somebody needs to make a motion to award these contracts to the lowest bidder. Can we do one resolution? Yeah. Al makes the resolution. Second by someone? Cindy, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, now I need a motion to accept the abstract.
So moved.
John? Second? Who's gonna second?
I'll second.
Harold seconds it. All those in favor? Okay, now we're coming to my favorite part of the meeting. That's public comment. Anybody? Uh-huh.
So, I understand the compressor station section's been removed from the proposed zoning amendments, but am I right that the proposed change to the noise section remains? So, since that proposal dramatically weakens noise control in the town, I'm curious why that change is being proposed to the town. Especially, it's not just for compressor stations that may come in, whether they're zoned in as special use or not, but wind turbines raise a significant noise issue.
What does?
Wind turbines, wind systems, which are in the proposed amendments. So it would seem to me that the town deserves a thorough look at the noise issue and a well worked out noise law, rather than what we've got, which is a gutting of the noise law. I just am perplexed as to why that's what the board is proposing.
Well, I'm gonna comment, I probably shouldn't. I'm always cautioned. First of all, the notion that this was, as in your own words, ill thought of, rushed, I forgot all the adjectives you used. I take a little bit exception to that, Liam. I mean, this planning board worked for 3.5 years on this stuff. We have a very complicated noise law that they attempted to simplify. And they simplified it. And I happen to be KISS, I mean, I believe in that stuff. If we can keep it simple, let's do it. The law says 5 decibels above the ambient noise level is the limit. In no event can it be more than 60. Now, I read your letter, I've heard people talk. Just for your own, do you know what breathing is? Breathing. The decibels from breathing, 10. Now, keep this in context. How in the hell can anybody say that this is a lousy law? It protects the public, it keeps it simple, without graphs and charts and all of this other stuff. Now, we can change it. If you want to ask the planning board to go back and work another 3.5 years, but to say that it was ill thought of, I really take exception to that. I really do. People work very hard for no pay, month after month after month, for 3.5 years, and for somebody to make those claims, I take exception to it, and I have to tell you, I take exception to your letter. Not fair, not fair. You have something constructive, talk in a constructive way. Don't call us like we're a bunch of city, or a bunch of urban, or, excuse me, farmer hicks. That's what I feel some folks think we are. We work darn hard to keep this town right, and the planning board especially. So, that's my comment, and I shouldn't have made it.
I'd just like to add to your comment. I would suggest that you wait until we have the public hearing, at which time the law will be explained to you, and then you'll have a comment period in which you can comment on it. But, you know, you're going off without our explanation of the law, and this is not the forum to do it. The public hearing and the explanation at the public hearing is where you should be airing your
And that's right,
concerns.
and I probably shouldn't have said anything. I got my dander up a little bit. I read a lot of letters that were misinformed people, just, you know, everybody said the same thing. People said that we were proposing a compressor station. I mean, where was that? Where do you get that? I don't know, I just got my dander up when I read the letter, and after about the 15th letter, I said, I can't believe this. You know, and I could almost, the first paragraph, Tom Shepstone, hired, what do they call it? Suggested I mean, everybody said the same thing. I mean, obviously,
He was the fellow.
I tell people, come on, get informed, come to the public hearing. Don't let other people do your thinking.
To be fair.
So, I think, I'm sorry, you know.
No, to be fair, you did suggest that you would get back to me to the letter that I submitted to the board a month ago. I was asking for explanation of this, why there would be this change. And I can understand that you point to the 5 decibels above ambient, but you can have that without raising the maximum from 40 to 60, which is a fourfold increase in the noise level. I have yet to hear any reason why you would raise the maximum from 40 to
We'll talk
60.
about it at the public hearing. That's the only thing I can say at this point. And we have examples of what 60 is, what 20 is.
The fact remains that it's 4 times as loud as 40, 60 is 4 times as loud as 40, and so I think the town, it might be helpful if we had some explanation of why that seemed like a good idea prior to the public hearing.
Coming to the public hearings in
No, I
2
mean,
weeks.
You can communicate in writing before the meeting. That's not an unreasonable request. And to dismiss, I'm sorry, but, you know, adjectives and so on. This was a very, this was a simple, straightforward request. I'm wondering, why the hell did you change it? I mean, that's, we
Why do
should
we
know.
change what?
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with the existing, I'm gonna shut up, but it seems to me that there was a legitimate question that should have been answered.
Finished, I have an issue at my house.
Rosie?
I have an issue at my house. We live on Old Route 97, an unpaved dirt town road. Except for snow plowing and sanding during the winter, the road receives little to no maintenance from the town of Delaware, except for the occasional smoothing of ruts and a little gravel in certain spots. Stormwater runoff had become a problem years ago, eroding further the road's surface, that it became almost impassable, and the town highway department came and created a ditch on one side, and all the water runs from the ditch right onto our land. While that was not so bad years ago, the problem is now such that the runoff kills trees and vegetation, bushes and trees that are part of our landscaping, and it floods and erodes our driveway. We would like the town of Delaware to address and fix this stormwater situation and keep the water off our land. While this road, Old Route 97, we've lived there for 23 years, is a town road, probably the only dirt road with residents on it. Mr. Eschenberg has always said that the town board does not allocate money to him to make the road any better.
Where did you dream that up, sweetheart?
You said it to me
I did
more
not.
than
You're
once.
talking out your you know what.
We would like to know
who the
Hey,
lucky
hey,
recipient
hey,
was.
hey. You are telling a lie in front of everybody.
Oh,
I know
I'm
you like
not.
to make yourself feel good,
I'm not.
but you're
I'm
lying.
not.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. Yes, you are. I'm telling you, you are.
Stop telling me
Because,
that I'm
number
lying.
one, I can't stop water from going on your land. That's up to God.
No.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
move the ditch, you can do
No, I
anything
didn't
you
move no
want.
ditch.
Right.
Hey. Do you want to talk to me like that? Okay.
I'm not talking to you.
Yes, you are. You're lying. You are standing there telling people that I said the board gives me a budget to do with what I need to do.
Right.
They don't say, Bill, you can't fix that, or Bill, you can. So where'd you dream that up?
But you said it
No,
to
I
me.
did not. I don't lie. I have no reason to lie.
Okay, I'm sorry that I said that.
Well, you should
Bill
be, and I'm
just-
glad you
Bill
apologize.
just chooses not to come.
No, he
But that's
doesn't.
that's
Anytime
quite all
you
right.
call,
That's quite all
I try
right.
to get there, except for when it's
Okay.
things that don't
Now,
pertain
all
to
I want to know is the stone that came off Audley Door Drive. Was
in
that
the
maybe
file,
was
but if
that free
You know what I
stone
was gonna do?
that could
Oh,
have
wait a
been
second. You know what I
put
was
onto
gonna
the
do?
road?
I was gonna go down there with the paver and put it on 4 inches deep next week. I was gonna do that. But you make this scene, so now everybody knows what I'm gonna do. How you feel now? All you had to do is call, all you had to do, all you have to do is call up and say, Bill, my road needs fixing. I would have said, here we come, down there with the paver and we'll
Bill,
put it
the
on.
road, if the road
I
needs fixing.
realize
You've
that.
always known
I
that.
realize
The
that.
water
But
needs
now I have
fixing.
the material to fix it, I can fix it.
Okay, good. Go ahead. Never mind. My issue
There you
is
go.
resolved.
There you go, I'm glad we took care of that.
Good.
Okay, with that, I'll call for an adjournment.
Was that good?
No, it's not.
Can I just make a comment also?
Okay?
Okay, I just wanna make a point about the zoning amendment coming up. I know there's talk about the EIS, and the issue, with the compressor station and the noise, there are a lot of impacts that are in that whole alternative energy section with the wind turbines themselves. And I do think it's important that the EIS look at other impacts, like health impacts, vibration. I mean, they're serious with wind turbines, serious like they are with compressor stations. And I don't think that this should be like just somehow noise is the only impact that one can have from, an activity. So I think it's important to, make sure that that's looked at. And I also have to say, I don't know what the distinction is between a public comment and a public hearing. I don't think people should be dissuaded about talking about an issue that they want to talk about, even if it's a week or a month or a year before a public hearing on it. It's public comment, and I don't think it needs to be or should be, kind of sequestered. Boy, I actually hate that word now, but it's the way it's kind of like, we'll talk about all that then. Like, it's, why not talk about it in advance? Or allow people to do so without feeling that, they're, really shouldn't be doing so.
And I would add to what Liam said before, that he had asked for an explanation about how the choices were made, and we were told that that was gonna happen. And
What
now you wanna
choices?
put it off, well, about the noise levels, about how the noise levels were decided upon. I mean, yeah, it took 3 years to do it, and so.
3.5.
Or 3.5. And I don't know whether they're right or wrong, but Liam did ask for an explanation of how they were arrived at, and you guys said you were gonna do it. And now you wanna put it off until the next
The
meeting.
public hearing.
Public hearing. So I mean, I think Liam is right in asking,
Well, I mean, that's the
maybe
pub-
it's right, but
that's really the correct forum for it, because, for instance, our board here, he has a board and that came up with this, all of these changes. And our board looks at it, but you're asking us to comment about it, and I think the correct forum is the public hearing. That's what the public hearings are for. But,
My point is, just give us a chance to explain what we did before you start hacking it apart. That's all I'm asking for. Let us explain what we did and our reasoning for doing it, and then we'll take your comment.
I shouldn't say this, but it would be much easier if you let these people explain to you, and then you try to explain to them, but you haven't heard their side yet. That's right, so they said, we'll tell you our side on May the 29th.
Because that's when the planning board will be here, and they'll be answering your questions, and there'll be no other business, just that.
Well, it could have been any time in the last 3.5 years. It could have, as it was being
There were.
discussed in, yeah, but
absolutely.
it
There were
was,
monthly
public
meetings
comment
and-
sessions, at
Right.
least 2 of them with the planning board, yeah.
so this was already explained?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Sure.
we had,
But it was-
first of all, we have a public comment period at the end of every planning board meeting. And secondly, we held a special meeting for public comment, the planning board did, which anybody could have come and voiced their opinions then or questions then.
But
And
did you
at that
explain-
time,
did
we
you
were
explain
still,
then when,
at
what
that-
happened with the noise? Did you explain how it developed?
nobody asked us the question. You know, we explained what we did, why we did it, and nobody raised the question, okay? So we did have a public comment period, and we do have one after every planning board meeting, there's public comment period.
Not after everyone. I've been to very few planning board meetings, and the one planning board meeting I was at, you decided to have the public comment period before the
That's
end of
correct,
the meeting.
because that was the one where there was pretty much the hot topic, I guess, was either compressor stations or something. And I decided, instead of making you wait until we had finished our meeting, we would like to hear what you had to say before we did our
But we
meeting.
didn't know what it was about until after the meeting.
You can't win. I mean, I was only trying to accommodate the public because the public
I
was.
was just pointing out that they haven't always been
That
at
was
the
the
end
only
of the
time
meeting.
I held a public comment period before the meeting. Normally, our public comment period is at the end of the meeting. And if we only have a handful of people, and a lot of you people know this, I have allowed public discussion during the meeting a lot of times, and you can't say I haven't. If there's a full house there, I'm not gonna do it. But I mean, if there's 2 or 3 people there and they want to comment on it, and we don't have a lot on the agenda, I've been very liberal in the way I handle the meeting. So, the public has had every opportunity to voice their concerns or whatever. So now, I think the proper forum is to wait till the public meeting for the town board. We'll explain it. You can ask your questions then.
I have a question regarding the plant swap. If I'm not gonna be around, or someone's not gonna be around on the 25th, can we drop plants off prior? Anywhere? Where do we bring them?
I think to Liz McCar's, but I can email you, I'll find out.
All right, if you would. Thanks.
Bill?
I would just like to say one thing. I apologize, but had you just picked the phone up instead of wasting all that time writing that letter, neither one of us would have been in this position tonight. That's all you had to do was pick the phone up like normal and say, Bill, we have a problem. There was no reason to write that 2-hour letter that you must have sat down and took the time to write.
It's not long.
Well, the little bit of time then that would have took to write it, you could have picked the phone up and called me. But I don't have
Remember
any.
what you said the last time, so,
What
I thought
said
this
the
was a
last-
better
when you brought the
forum,
box of
as they
candy in
say.
for all our employees to buy to keep your Calhoun, whatever, flowers going.
you're talking to the wrong person.
No, you were there. Yeah. Yeah, you were with her though.
Any other
That's
comments?
right.
Any other comments? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Yay!